Hi everyone, welcome to our final week of the term. So hopefully you will receive your final project grade today. And that big project that you've been working on all term finally came to fruition and you submitted it, and hopefully you received the score that you're looking for. For those of you that have not submitted that final project, the last day you can submit anything for any points is this Sunday. So you need to submit it by then. Otherwise, it's the end of the term. No later work will be accepted. So this week we're going to finish off the term looking at ecological biogeography. So this includes looking at ecosystems. Okay, so last week we talked about community ecology and things like and interactions and things like that, restoration ecology. So this week we focus more on the ecosystem level of ecology. So that not only includes the living component, but the non-living component of an ecosystem. Okay, so you can think of things like the soil, the precipitation, the watershed. All of that has good big impacts on what type of species will inhabit the area. And so we'll be exploring these different levels of ecology, including the biogeochemical cycles that you may have read about in the past. So we're going to be focusing on the carbon cycle and the phosphorus cycle and so forth, and see how these different cycles play a key role in each of our ecosystems. So it'll be a pretty important topic to kind of give the overall view of this field of ecology. So let's take a look at our module introduction. So by the end of this week, you will be able to contrast the ways that net productivity is controlled between terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. You'll be able to illustrate the processes, reservoirs, flows, and time scales of the carbon, phosphorus, and nitrogen cycles. And then finally explain the mechanisms by which greenhouse gases impact plant and animal species. So again, this is kind of the ecosystem level of ecology we're focusing on. So yeah, there's a lot of information in this kind of synopsis here of ecological biogeography. So you can read through and kind of think about how humans have impacted the different biogeochemical cycles and how that's changing the ecosystems. So think about the carbon cycle and the phosphorus cycle and how that can contribute to things like the habitat loss or global climate change, or even things like algal blooms and eutrophication and all of these unfortunate catastrophes that we're experiencing that are affecting the ecosystems and the species that inhabit them. So as far as the textbook, there are 4 chapters we're covering this week. That is a lot, okay? So recognize, I think there are 30 questions, no, there's 20 questions, in your quiz. So 5 questions on chapter 20, 5 questions on chapter 21, and so forth. But the total points for the quiz, I believe, are like 30 points or something like that. So just recognize that, each question is worth more than 1 point. So it is very important for you to take your time as you go through the quiz. Use your textbook. Make sure that you're understanding what the question is asking, and so that you answer correctly. And if you don't get an A the first attempt, try to take the quiz again. And then the rest of the reading or required resources are just videos, so that's fairly easy. So you're going to look at the 5 human impacts on the environment. So think about how we're reducing biodiversity. And then the hydrologic and carbon cycles. So this one kind of covers those 2 parts. And then the nitrogen and phosphorus cycle, the other 2 biogeochemical cycles. Okay, so you'll watch those as well as read the 4 chapters in your textbook. Now, as far as the discussion goes, this is basically a reflective discussion. So you're going to think about all the topics that were covered in this term related to ecology, and think about anything that you think should have been explored more in depth. Okay, so was there something that you think we didn't really cover in this ecology course that you think that it should have been covered? And once you think of something, maybe it's a topic that you're most interested in, then you're going to write about why you think it would be an important subject to address, as well as where you think it should be covered in the semester. So you'll want to look up the learning objectives for the course, okay, so all the course outcomes and the module objectives, and then see whatever topic you've chosen that it should be incorporated into our course, what course outcome or module objective it would fall under. So if you're looking for course outcomes, you can go into the learning modules in our Start Here folder. Okay, so we have our syllabus that has all of the learning outcomes for the course. So you can use this to help you, as far as what it would cover. Or if there's a topic that you know would fit under a particular module, like so for example, if you really enjoyed learning about population ecology, we have the module overviews that have the module course, or excuse me, not the module overviews, the course objectives or module objectives listed under each module. So that would be, I thought it was right there, but I guess it's here, right here. Okay, so for example, maybe you wanted to learn more about I don't know, keystone species or something like that. So you can figure out, or agricultural sustainable farming practices, or whatever the topic that you're interested in, more on restoration ecology. So you can kind of see which objectives it would most likely fall under, and then see which learning objective it would most likely fall under, and include that. So once you've figured out, what the topic is and what you think the learning objectives that it will cover, then you can start preparing your discussion board post. So you're going to think of one of these topics, and then share a story or explain a topic or issue you think would contribute to the material, and address one or more of the course outcomes or modules. Okay, so I see a lot of students doing the first part, sharing what topic would be best to explore further, but then they don't explain which course outcome or module objective it would cover. So don't forget to do that part. Okay. Once you post your initial post, then you will respond to 2 initial posts, just like any other discussion board. Okay. And again, these are research-based. So if you are looking up course outcomes, you need to state where you're getting that from. If you're looking up module outcomes, state where you're getting that from. The textbook is a highly valuable source here because, there is a lot of information in the textbook with a lot of examples of, topics that you might want to explore further. So those are, a couple ideas of where to look for references. Okay. And a lot of students, they especially since it's the last part of the term, they tend to not give as much effort into this post. So just be aware, if you are a borderline grade, you want to get a 30 out of 30 this week, so that will push you hopefully into the higher grade category. And then, of course, that Module 8 quiz. So that one is covering all 4 chapters. So it is a big quiz, and I believe it is 30 points. There we go, 30 points. So it's you have 30 points for your discussion board this week and 30 points for your quiz. So there's 60 points left in the term. Okay. Again, the last day to turn anything in is this Sunday by midnight. I will have the grades for the discussion board posted by Monday sometime. And then I will submit final grades by Tuesday. So if you have any issues with the grades thus far, you submitted something and for some reason it's not showing a grade, let me know ASAP. Occasionally I might forget to hit a publish button or something like that, and then a student's grade gets missed. So just be sure that you take a look at your overall grade and see if there's anything that you were not given credit for that obviously you submitted and should be graded and credited. Okay. Other than that, it was great to see and learn more about yourself and your career goals, and the stories that you shared with us about the invasive species in your area and your topics of interest and so forth. So I do appreciate, I learn from my students every single term. So I hope, even though you think that you learned a lot this term, I learned a lot too. So it's a great course for both you and me. So I had a pleasure to work with you, and good luck for all your future courses. And for those of you that are graduating this term, congratulations.